If you want to be more consistent in your golf swing, when you hit your irons or your driver or your wedge play, one of the most important things we have to get right is our takeaway. Too many players mess up the first part, the first, let's say 3 foot of the backswing, and from there it's a knock-on effect. If I get that wrong, like with my hands and arms whipping the club away, the club going too much inside, my arms moving away from my body, or picking the club too much upright, and my body lifting as a consequence, at that point I'm going to have to compensate everything in the downswing. And it just becomes so complicated. So in this video today, I'm going to show you the easiest and the best way to make a perfect takeaway so you can hit that ball crisp every time. So what's going wrong in the first 3 feet of the swing? Like I said earlier, if we get that bit wrong, it's a knock-on effect. What most players are doing, let's say you've got a good setup and good grip, but you start too much with the hands, your body, your arms are moving away from the body, the club's whipping inside. Then, you know, I'm going to be offline, off plane, my body's going to lift out of its angles, and I'm just going to be compensating from that position. Or I'm lifting my arms too much, I'm getting disconnected, and from there I'm just going to have to do something in the downswing to compensate that. So what do the pros do that's so good? They get their arms and their body and the club working together as one unit. Okay, so one piece takeaway. What they're doing is when they're setting up, they're getting everything working together. So you can see these first 3-4 feet of my movement, my body's rotating. My arms are staying straight in front of me. The club head is in line with my hands. If I can get this correct, that's going to allow me to get back into this position in the backswing where my body's rotated and my body stays perfectly centered. I'm in a perfect swing plane to swing down and attack the golf ball. So I'm going to give you 2 simple drills that really make this easy to understand and feel. Now, the first one is with the club, I'm just going to put the club into my belly button. All right, I'm just going to grip down it, and I'm just going to get this feeling that my arms are obviously nice and close together. I feel like I'm in a good setup position. And what do? I just turn, rotate my right pocket, my trouser pocket behind me, and I'm just rotating my hips. So it's all coming from my center. I'm not just using my arms. Many people got this concept of having to use the arms, but if I just use my arms and don't move my body, the club's going to swing offline, I'm going to be disconnected, and it's going to create all sorts of problems. So what I want to do is feel it come from the center. I feel that I'm moving from my belly button, from my hips, and my arms and my shoulders are working together in unison with this movement. And as you can see, when my hands reach the outside of my right foot, which I'll show you from this position, I've made a perfect takeaway. If I lengthen that, look at that. So that's the feeling I want to create. So I want to get here. Then what do? I let my hands, my wrists hinge upwards. Now the club's pointing pretty much to the ground, and I keep rotating. So my right pocket's gone behind me, my body's rotated, I'm nice and connected, then I let the club work up. It's such a simple exercise. And just to top it off, what do I want to be doing? Moving into my left leg, pulling the club down, my arms down, getting back into the position. Look at that. So my body's starting to rotate. I'm in my left leg. The club's back in my belly button. I can now rotate through together. And once again, I can just let the club come off my belly button to a perfect finish. It's such a good exercise. I'll show you from this line. Rotate from my center. When I reach my foot, the outside of my right foot, I let the hands hinge upwards. Look at that backswing. Drive into my left leg, back into the belly button, rotate together and away. It's a nice simple exercise. What I can do is just practice that with the club in, then I lengthen it out and I just try and create the same feelings. To here, everything working, letting it hinge up, rotating, driving, back into the belly button so my arms are extended in front of my body, releasing through together, and then a finish. Another good way to practice is when you're at home, you're in the office, you know, just a small ball like this. You hold on to it, you're trying to create the same feeling. You're working everything together. Okay, so I get the feeling of as if I'm just going to pass this football to someone. I'm just going to pass it to them, let my body rotate, let my arms extend, but I feel it coming from my center. It must come from the center, not the arms, okay? Not just the body. The body's rotating and the arms are moving away. okay, but it comes from the centre. And the same on the way through. As if I've got to throw this ball to someone, I get the feeling of everything working from my centre together. So you can even put the ball in the middle of the arms. Once again, same feeling. It's really good feeling to keep that connection and everything working as one. So I'm going to try it with the golf club. Let's get a couple of balls. Let's give it a try. Right, let's put the ball down. Now, I set up. I get the feeling that I sometimes like to start the swing to build up the feeling from just in front of the golf ball here. And I just let the club move backwards. Thanks to the movement of my body, I move from my left leg to my right leg, rotate and stop. From my left leg to my right leg, rotate and stop. And that just builds up that feeling of a perfect takeaway. Everything working from my center. I let it go up, then I drive through. Okay, so let's give it a try. I've got a 7-iron here. Good position, good setup. Work it all together. I can practice the movement, keep rehearsing it. It's a good way to really feel it. Yeah. Super. That was a super connected swing. I feel everything working together. We'll just try one more so we can build up that feeling. Like I say, from my center, everything's working together. You can see it comes from my center. My arms work. I'm not doing anything. I'm not changing this angle. You can see my right arm stays quite straight. I'm not rigid. I'm not tense. I'm not losing this position that I've created at address. So I'm just working from my center, belly button, the butt of the club and the club head working together, and let the club just hinge itself into position. The speed of the club, the lightness of the grip will allow the club to hinge into position. So let's rehearse that movement one more time. So 1, build the feeling. 2, perfect takeaway. That's good. 3, hit. Yeah, once again, another super strike. Listen guys, get the first 3 feet right in the golf swing. The takeaway is so important. You get that right, you set yourself up for success. You can build a great backswing from that and an even better downswing for that. Work on this, be your best.